We're going to have fun on this show today. It's going to be fun. You know why? Because it's party time, Mom. Welcome to another uncharted episode of the Chad Prather Show. I went to chartable.com. We're nowhere to be found. Are we really that bad, Brandon, that we're off all charts?
This is clearly deep state collusion.
WTF. I don't know how to make an F with my hands, but I think I did it. WTF, Sara Gonzales.
I did it.
You get that tattooed right on your body. You did do it. You're good at the F's and giving none.
Yeah, I do. That is true. I do give no F's.
Let's clear the air because this is going to be a give no F's kind of episode.
Okay.
All right. We're going to dig into a couple of culturally relevant stories today. We're going to tell you, we're going to make fun of them because that's what we do, and then we're going to tell you why they're relevant. Why we should be talking about them. Because I know we put things out there just like I did the Super Bowl halftime thing, and people said, well, I didn't watch it. Well, here's your medal. Here's your little star. The point is not whether, good for you for not watching it, quite honestly. Good for you. The point is, you say it in a condescending tone as though, how dare we watch it? See, first of all, we have to watch it. We have to see this stuff because it's relevant for us to know what's going on in the world so we can talk about it. That's our jobs. But another thing is, you may not be watching it, but your children and your grandchildren are still going to be influenced by it just by the sheer fact that it was on, and it determines the marketing dollars that are going to be spent to make sure that those kids, your kids, go out and spend their allowance and their little, $15 an hour minimum wage in a Bernie Sanders economy. They're going to go out and spend money on the stuff that's being pushed by the Super Bowl and its halftime and its commercials and all the hoopla around it. And so it's important that while, yes, you're doing your part not watching it, I still want to make you aware of the messaging that's out there, because whether you're watching it or not, your kids are still being influenced by it. And believe it or not, Mr. and Mrs. Stoic, brass balls, you're being influenced by it too, whether you watched it or not, because we're continuing to give it a platform. Sarah, you don't feel good? You haven't felt good?
Yeah, I might be dying. I'm not sure.
But you don't have the COVID.
I don't. Well, actually, I haven't tested. I don't know. I refuse to test anymore.
Here's my protocol.
I don't have a fever, I will say.
This is my protocol.
Wow. Well,
I might have cirrhosis, but I don't have the COVID. I don't. All right. I'd love to invite you guys to our show at District 249 for the Buck Wild Comedy Tour this Friday night in Tomball, Texas. But you can't come. You can't come. All the money in the world can't get you in the door. It is sold out, packed, crammed, full.
What a horrible problem to have,
But
Chad.
if you gave me $1,000, I could probably find a way through the back door. I'm just saying you can't come. It's done. All right. Now, next week's a different story. Birmingham, Alabama, the Stardome, Friday night, Saturday night. This is going to be wild because Friday night, one show, Saturday night, two shows. The second show starts at 10:15 at night.
Whoa.
This is some rock star living right here.
Wow.
So Buck Wild Comedy Tour. We're going to try not to kill anybody this time. Going to be a lot of fun. But then I'm all over. Like San Antonio, Texas Independence Day, I'm going to be there. We're going to party at Sam's Music Hall. So ChadPratherLive.com. I don't want to take up any more time with that. Hey, Chelsea Handler, another person you don't care about, and neither do I. But she went viral this week, Sarah. You tweeted about it, talking about why she doesn't want children, and she did a little parody. It was an attempt at humor of the life of a childless woman. Now, yes, they mean it as a joke. Remember, they laugh at it, they launder it, but they put it out there in such a way, the same way I do it in a humorous way, and it sticks in your brain. Let's watch this viral clip.
This is a day in the life of a childless woman. I wake up at 6 a.m. I remember that I have no kids to take to school, so I take an edible, masturbate, and go back to sleep. I wake up at 12:30 p.m. and get ready for a busy day of doing whatever the I feel like. I put on my most impractical and stylish shoes since I won't be chasing a child around the grocery store. I go to my fave spot in Paris to grab a croissant. I do a meditation sesh on the plane since I have no screaming kids, allowing me all the time in the world to become enlightened. The weightlessness of my existence has granted me superhuman powers. I teleport myself back home. Then I get ready for a night out with whatever hot guy I met on Raya that morning. I call up a babysitter and tell her that I don't need her since I still don't have kids. Now it's time for a workout, so I hit Mount Everest for a quick climb. I invent a time machine, go back in time and kill Hitler. Freeze, you bastard! It's amazing what you can do when you have this much free time. And that's a day in the life of a childless woman.
All right, so there's a lot to be said and a lot to be had and a lot of things to do, plenty of activities that you ladies out there who have chosen to have a family, chosen to have children, y'all are missing out on a lot of things. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's really sad. I just think it's really, really sad that our society, I like that you pointed out, like, yes, it's a joke. Ha ha. It's so funny. I know she's using a green screen and talking about going back in time and killing Hitler. Wow, I get it. It's so edgy and it's a joke, but it's really not, because for a long time now, the left and Hollywood have glamorized not having children.
Yeah.
Women are supposed to feel empowered to kill their babies in the wombs, and they are told and regurgitate the idea that they cannot have a full life, they cannot have a full existence unless they are childless, right? They can't have their career and have children. They have to sacrifice the kid aspect so that they can do XYZ. In Chelsea Handler's case, I just thought it was really sad. Imagine being such a loser that you think that, like, I don't know, taking an edible and going back to bed is
Don't leave out masturbating.
Sorry. Taking an edible and masturbating before going back to bed is somehow like more valuable to your life than having children and raising the next generation. I just think it's just a really, really sad state of affairs that we find ourselves in.
And I don't know how many abortions Chelsea Handler has had in her life.
She's probably shouted it out sometime. We should go back and look.
I believe it's actually 3.
She's had 3.
See, she says.
So again, let's talk about that. So those of you out there, maybe you watch this video and you say, well, it doesn't matter what she says in her humorous way. Well, what if somebody out there is scrolling through TikTok and they're just found out they're pregnant and they're trying to decide, should I have this baby or not? And they watch a Chelsea Handler video. It might make a difference in that unborn child's life as to what decision's about to be made over her humor. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper than that because I think we should, because I think it's a little bit of a deeper issue for somebody like Chelsea Handler. Many of you go, who the hell is Chelsea Handler? Well, she's sort of a D-list comedian / whatever, D-lister.
Actress?
Something.
Maybe.
Maybe I think she's been in some things. I don't know. But she's a trash comedian. And this went viral. People had things to say about it, and this was her follow-up response.
One thing that I have made abundantly clear is that I do not want children. I say it on stage. I say it in interviews. It's the first thing I say to myself in the mirror when I wake up each morning, right before I tell myself, God, you're a dynamic woman. Kids don't respect me, and quite frankly, the feeling is mutual. And the fact is, there are millions of women just like me, but for some reason, every single one of us, at some point in our lives, is shamed by society for not wanting a baby. But these Fox News trolls are right about one thing. I am miserable. In fact, I was just scrolling through my Instagram feed the other day, realizing how miserable I am. I'm miserable on the beach. And then here I am miserable on the top of a mountain. And then here I am miserable scuba diving. And then I'm miserable again smoking a joint in a hot tub. Every day is truly a new circle of hell for me. The simple truth is that I'm not having a kid because I'm happier without them. And that's really not of anyone's concern but my own. And no, I don't hate kids. I just don't want them. That's what's so great about nieces and nephews. I love being an aunt. I'm crushing that role. Guess who gave each one of them their first edible? This girl, yeah.
Well, I doubt your children would want you either, and I'm probably sure society doesn't want your children, but that's a side note there. So Chelsea Handler's apparently desperate for you to know that she is happy being childless. She's also desperate for you to know that she is relevant to society as a whole. And she is, I guess, because it's entertainingly sad to watch people like this try to justify their choices to the world around them when the world around them really doesn't care. The fact is, she cares. She really does care a lot. She knows deep in her soul, whether she chooses to admit it or not, that when there's no more mountains to climb, beaches to frolic, scubas to dive, joints to smoke, and red carpets to walk, that she's ultimately alone because of her choice to deny herself one of life's greatest privileges and true blessings, a woman's gift of bearing a child. And then she glamorized it and promoted it as a choice to be proud of. Not every woman has children for one reason or another, but one of the fundamental reasons we exist on this lonely sphere is to procreate, to produce eternal beings. You are literally alive with the purpose of producing a family. That's right. You are alive for that purpose. And those of you that disagree with me are most likely here because someone chose to have a family. And at bare minimum, you're here because your biological parents irresponsibly engaged in an activity designed by God to create families. It's literally blueprinted on our souls. So good for you, Chelsea. You made a video, several actually, to tell us all what's lacking in your life. Listen, God's law is indeed written on a woman's heart, and no amount of denial therapy or fame will ever change that. Now, I got a feeling that when she's 75 or 80 or whatever, that tune is going to change to one of regret, and that to me is very, very sad. Listen, I know women who have committed suicide over their inability to have children, and so for this to become a laughing thing, I don't think is something that we should pander to at a point like this. And say, oh, because you literally, like, if you don't want to have children, that's fine. But when you're putting it out there and say, oh, look at what a blessed life I have because I don't have children, you are literally denying the whole reason you exist. Now, you exist for a lot of different reasons, but the primary thing you exist for is to create others just like you.
Right.
And I've never, listen, 4 kids, 1 step kid, I've never missed out on anything. Now, I haven't been the best father. I know that. I haven't always been the most their father, right? But I guarantee you, my kids, if you ask any one of my children, they'll say, he took care of us. He took care of us. And I don't think I ever missed out on life, any of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really sad because we've become such a hedonistic society that it's just like self. Put yourself first, put yourself first, put yourself first. And I really am scared for the next generation being taught that by people like Chelsea Handler. I'm really glad that you brought up because I do want to make a point to say, I don't think we should shame women who decide, hey, kids aren't for me. I'm not equipped to have kids. Maybe like don't spread your legs for every man that comes around and go get abortion and use it as birth control, I would say. But I just like, that's fine. But as you said, to brag about it and make it sound like you have something that I don't because I chose to mother the next generation. No. I have something you don't.
That's right.
And you will never have, and you will die alone, and you will regret it.
And that hedonistic, selfish, individualistic idea that that's how society is supposed to be run is what's killing America. The fact that we're not procreating and then raising children with our same values to procreate themselves and grow a family value. The destruction of the nuclear family, the family unit, the role of a father, the role of a mother, the role of the children. All of those are very specific roles. It's not about equality or inequality. It's about the importance of each one of those roles. We're trying to negate all of that stuff. And the fact that you look at China, everybody's worried about China. I'm not really worried about China right now. You know why? Because China doesn't have young men and women. They limited their ability to have children. And guess what? President Xi killed off anybody of any intellectual capacity so that he was the only one and he doesn't have any threats out there. So when something happens to him, guess what? China's going all the way down and you're not going to be able to have your damn iPhone because nobody's going to be there to make them. Who I'm worried about is the Muslim population out there with radical Islam being propagated in a bigger and bigger way. And guess what? They're having tons of kids and radicalizing them with the same value system to fight against the great Satan, which is you, Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
We're not growing. That's for sure.
Can I?
Yeah.
I would also like to make the point that the dumb crap that she was like, oh, I like to wear impractical shoes and I can only do that because I don't have kids. Hello?
Nobody wears more impractical shoes than you, Sarah.
Than me. Thank you. And I have 2 children. One of them is a toddler, right?
And has not slept in 3 years.
No, he really hasn't. And
it feels like 3 years.
It really does.
Even though it's not quite.
Not quite. I'm still living life. I still have a career. I'm not going to say I'm not a bad mom. I'm actually a really good mom. I'm there for everything I need to be there for. I provide for them and I am working so that they will have to want for nothing. They will have everything that they need in the event that there is still some sort of a college system. They'll go there, right? And so it's so offensive to try to act like, oh, I'm missing. Oh, I can't have sex with my husband because I have children. No, Let me tell you, that's not the case.
And by the way, the contradiction there is she wouldn't be trying to find guys to screw at night on the dating app and using the vibrator if it was so satisfying.
Right. Right.
I mean, maybe you got needs, but damn.
I'm married and I have 2 kids and I'm good.
Girl, that's
I'm
what
good.
I mean. I can hear you through the phone sometimes. You just texting. And I am a good dad. I've never missed a court date. Hey, friends, do you feel like the world is being held together with duct tape right now? I do. And every day we're thrown new distractions by the fake news to pull us from the reality we're all about to face. Now, between the government trying to print their way out of debt, global military conflicts, and a looming food shortage, preparedness is no longer a choice. It's a necessity. In times like these, you can trust My Patriot Supply. Their 3-month emergency food kit comes packed with tasty, and I do mean delicious, tasty meals with over 2,000 calories per day. And right now, you're going to automatically get $200 in free survival gear with each kit you order. That's cool. Right there. These products are going to save the day when the crisis comes, and it's coming soon. Self-reliance is your only option. Go to mypatriotsupply.com, get $200 worth of free survival essentials with your 3-month emergency food kit. Everything is in stock and ready to go with free shipping too. Go to mypatriotsupply.com before the next disaster strikes. That's mypatriotsupply.com. Be right back. Whew, boy, that was saucy. Saucy. Makes me want to go have a baby right now.
Whoa.
I'm going to sell my unvaccinated sperm. We've talked about this over and over again. Ooh.
What's that going per gram?
I don't know yet. I don't know what the street value of this dick is, but I'm going to find out. Street value of the penis, probably not so much.
I was going to say it's not the dick.
It's the that is just the delivery system.
Right.
And it's what's behind it.
Yes.
It's the Trojan horse.
Yes.
No pun intended. You get rid of the Trojan and just bring the horse.
Right.
And all its riders. But I'm going to have a little surgical procedure to get that undone. And
yeah, you better hope that that's successful.
Yeah. I don't know. Those guys have been up in there a long time, though, after the vasectomy. And they might come out being like, "What's up, man? What's up? What's up? What's up?"
How long has it been? How long has it been?
They might be up there looking for a fix. You know, what's up?
They just been fiending.
Speaking of semen, though.
Oh.
And we were.
I can't say I've ever uttered that phrase.
Let me show you someone who has semen. Now that doesn't sound weird until you see the person I'm going to show you. All right. This person I'm about to show you possesses semen, which by default means they also possess testicles and also possess that delivery system we aforementioned. Play the clip.
It's day 335 of being a girl, and I wanted to go on record to say that this might be the hottest I've ever looked and will ever look in my lifetime. And I'm making this video so that in thousands of years, there will be evidence. Is it the dress? It could be the dress. Is it the makeup? Or is it the hair? Because I think it's the extensions. And when I have extensions in, I don't know my name. I don't know where I live. I just know that I love these. And I know that I look like I could steal a husband, but I want to promise you, look me in the eyes. I want to promise you that I would never do that to you. Okay, I am a girl's girl. And I love ya. Woo! But seriously, this is good, right? Okay. Love you, okay.
Well, ladies, unless your husband likes to suck on that delivery system, I don't think that guy's going to steal your husband. Sara Gonzales, your thoughts?
We live in such a clown world.
We do.
Such a clown world. I mean, this man has been emboldened by the White House.
The White House.
Right? He went to the White House. Yeah,
God love you.
God love you. Not a joke. Not a joke. He went to the White House. This guy has been platformed by the highest office in the country. And no one can just tell him that he's mentally ill.
Yeah.
No one can tell him that. We have him parading around, acting like any man, any straight man, and because he's speaking to women. So he's speaking to women who are married to men and saying, I could steal your husbands.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, My husband isn't gay. He doesn't like dick. So I think we're good. I've got you. I beat you on that. Okay, I'm gonna win on that one.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And here's the thing to think about. Here's the thing to think about. We keep talking about. See, this is to me, this is blackface.
It is.
This is woman face.
It is gender appropriation.
It's gender appropriation. This is the same as blackface. You say, "Oh my God, you can't say that. You don't understand the plight of black people." You dumbasses that don't know history don't know the plight of women. Really? Women that were property? Women have been. They didn't have the right to vote. They couldn't own anything. Women who had to let their husbands vote count for what they wanted. Don't tell me that women haven't been oppressed. Why do we call prostitution the oldest profession in the world? Because women that are being trafficked right now, there's more slaves, particularly sex slaves, on the planet right now than have ever existed in the history of mankind. There's more slaves right now that are being trafficked back and forth. You know who makes up most of that? Women. Little girls. Mm-hmm. So this is woman face.
Yeah.
This is woman face. History and age. You talk about the best you're ever going to look, Dylan. You're right. It's the best you're ever going to look because age is going to be a bitch to you because you're going to get male pattern baldness. You keep getting more surgeries and stuff like that. You're gonna start getting back hair. Your ass is going to stink worse as you get older. You're going to be crusty. Just more and more stuff's going to happen to you. I promise you, age is going to be a bitch. But here's the thing. It insults me as a man to think that the only thing I'm attracted to in a woman is 50 pounds of makeup and tits, which, by the way, you have literally none. So to accuse most men, I'm not talking about the trash asses out there that drive their Lamborghinis and think they got a big, I'm saying to the real man out there, you're going to sit there and tell me, because you know what real men want? Real men want a woman who knows she's a woman, who's secure and comfortable in her space and in her place and knows who she is, has a sense of identity, knows where she's going. Somebody who loves being a mother, loves being a wife, loves being in the home, loves being a provider, loves being someone that nurtures, someone that protects. And you say, well, that's the man's role. No, trust me, mess with Mama Bear and find out. This evil queen, Sara Gonzales, is the human anthropomorphic embodiment of a Disney ice queen. This bitch will cut you. And I promise you, she's got 3 things on her right now that are sharper than a blade.
It's true.
She'll cut you. I told her the other day, I said, you're an evil queen. She takes pride in your demise.
It's true.
It's true. You do. It's a weird fetish you got. And I'm not here to kink shame you because you'll cut me.
Well, listen, with respect to my family,
you kill a person.
F around, find out.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm protecting.
I've seen it.
Absolutely, I'm protecting my children.
We were doing some business with some folks not too long ago, and they were kind of neglecting some stuff we were doing. And I said, "Listen, make Sarah happy. Bottom line, make Sarah happy. I ain't worried about me. Make Sarah happy, damn it.
Because nobody wants to see what happens.
Nobody needs to see that skull split open and the fire come out in the laser beams. Nobody needs to. But it is an insult to men that you just say, I can steal your husband, and is this the hottest I'm ever gonna look? You look like shit, Dylan. And listen, I'm sorry, but mental illness is not attractive to anyone.
Well, that's why I made the joke yesterday that my husband has all the crazy that he can deal with me. He doesn't need more crazy with you, Dylan.
Yeah.
Like, you way too much crazy for him. He's already got his hands full with my crazy.
And listen, your mental illness, the only person that would be attracted to that is a dude that would go to Thailand and look for lady boys, and that person is mentally ill too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you talk about the insult that it is to men, the insult that it is to women, which you touched on, but it's like, I can grow a human and birth that human and bring them into the world. You can never be me. No. You can never be me. And you know, this is the same guy who went on some, what was it, like Ulta podcast or whatever, and said he can't wait to be a mom.
Yeah. And I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And hey, listen, let me tell you how productive women are. They create an egg once a month and then their body just washes it out.
Yeah.
Just like, you know what? Make another one next month.
Right. And then when you do have child, when you do conceive, my organs actually move throughout my body. They know where to move to make space when my womb grows. Like, I beat you at this game all day long, Dylan. You will never be me.
All right. Come on, girl.
Getting a little personal.
Yeah, that's right.
It is personal,
I mean,
Brandon.
Dylan,
you're
you
right.
can-
It is personal. It
Dylan-
is personal.
Dylan-
You can't put on some red lipstick and say, I'm a woman. You're not. I am. I would know.
Have you remember my old clips of when I dressed up like a woman on Humor Me on Blaze
Beverly.
TV? Go back. If you're a subscriber of Blaze TV, you can still go get old episodes of Humor Me. They were good. When I dressed up as Beverly
Bev.
Wall. Beverly Wall. She'll kick your ass. Beverly had a hell of a 5 o'clock shadow. Looks sort of like this one. You know, Dylan, you have a penis, which means you can get up in them guts. But them guts ain't gonna move around for your baby. You know what I'm saying? Let's just leave it like that. Why does this matter? Why does this matter? Because as you stated at the very beginning, this has been given the highest platform in the United States of America. It's been given credence by the highest authority in our country, by the President of the United States. And then he tried to, God love you, God bless it. And
He
God
said
doesn't bless it.
We need more Dylans.
Yeah.
what he said.
Are you bless it? God bless you. How? To what? More of you? No. We don't need more insanity in the world.
God created you, and you said, no, I want to be something else.
I wanna be something
So
else.
don't bring up God.
Yeah. God love you. No, you literally shit on God's design.
Right. You just rejected God's design.
It said, I want to be something else.
I'm going to choose something else.
I'm going to
Correct.
make something in the image that I see
Right.
as being perfect.
Yep.
And good. And it's not. And then you put that out there and you have a lot of young, impressionable people out there. And then you got the bleeding hearts who want to condone this as being okay. And you know what? Yeah. And again, you say, oh, so mean. No. I'm willing to sound mean because I care.
Right.
Unlike you don't care about this person who is living a lifestyle where, 50% of the people who live it commit suicide. And I got some things to say about that in the next segment. All right, hair loss can be tough. Somebody said last week, they're like, it doesn't work. Chad's bald and he doesn't use Keeps. I'm not completely bald. I just don't, And I'm like, listen, sometimes when I use it, the hair comes back.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I don't use it.
It did for Jason Buttrell.
Jason Buttrell, it works great.
It all came back, and then he was like, I'm tired of having hair, so he shaved it.
Exactly. So we go through our phases. We're like, we just buzz it. But if I want the hair to come back, I start using Keeps. And it's kind of cool thing because it works very fast.
I think it's like 66% of men, it triggers a regrowth.
It triggers regrowth. And for me, it does. And of course, I buzzed mine way down recently. And I'm like, of course, this is still Vegas hair because I haven't been in the deal. People are like, it doesn't work. Chad doesn't have hair. I don't use Viagra, but I know it works, right? But anyway, if you're tired of seeing that and you want to see for yourself, I can assure you, for me, and for Jason Buttrell and many others I know, it works. So, Keeps has the clinically proven FDA-approved hair loss treatments that are available online, and they sell you the generic versions of it, so you only pay about half the cost. So whether you're looking to prevent hair loss or stimulate hair growth, take better care of the hair you have, your Keeps medical provider is going to help you find the right products you need to develop a personalized hair-saving routine that works for you. So you don't have to go to the waiting room. You don't have to visit the pharmacy. Keeps will be delivered straight to your door, and it's about half the cost of the traditional pharmacy. And if you have questions, you can actually message your Keeps provider 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you want to take action, join thousands of guys who have saved their hair with Keeps, and get a special offer. Go to keeps.com/loss. That's Keeps, KEEPS.com/loss. Keeps.com/loss. We'll be right back. All right, you wild kids. Let's talk about a couple of things. I want to touch on a sensitive topic. It's one I alluded to in the last segment, and it is suicide. Suicide specifically among the youth of this country. Now, it's not always the most comfortable thing in the world to think about, but as a malignant cancer metastasizing within the body of our culture, I think you'll agree with me that it's an itch that needs a considerable amount of scratching. And I want us to start with the latest report from the CDC. Yes, those bad guys. But they came out with a report which recently revealed that anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts increased dramatically among female and LGBTQ plus teens in 2021. Now, before I go any further, I want to give you a moment so that you can yell out the collective duh with such a statement. You know, obviously it deserves us to just say duh. And still deeply engulfed in the morass of the pandemic this country went through 2021 like a prisoner subjected to death by 1,000 cuts. Now, this study found that these things had been increasingly steadily over just increasing steadily over the past decade. And to that, also, I believe we need a wholehearted duh. Now, the first bit seems obvious to anyone with a functioning brain who lived through the COVID debacle, from lockdowns to panic, from masks that effectively cut off your means of facial expression to constantly stirred panic that the whole world was going to end up taking that final leap off the edge of a cliff. It truly requires no great leap of logic to understand the kind of hopelessness that would drive people, especially young people, to seek an end to the mental anguish. But why, one might wonder, has it increased over the past decade? Well, that's the $64 million question. And the answer, I believe, and I want you to pay very close attention to what I'm about to tell you, the answer is a condition of the heart and mind which normally lies inert at the bottom of human consciousness, but which from time to time bubbles up to the surface when the right conditions emerge from our culture. In short, the answer is nihilism. Now, you might not have brushed up on your Friedrich Nietzsche lately, but let's define by way of explication. When an individual or a group or even a whole society has lost all or nearly all of its faith in the institutions which have previously served as a moral guide, nihilism is allowed to curl its rotting fingers around whatever semblance of hope might exist. It is apathy at its core, and it believes in nothing, it worships nothing, it attaches meaning to nothing, seeks to be nothing. And those caught in its grip who venture into the mordant land of suicidality often long for some perceived sweet release from the pungent and dreadful fumes of everyday being. The very burdensome weight of living becomes too much and make no mistake, we all have that within us. Now, you can be the most upbeat, positive person in the world, and buried down deep inside your consciousness is a capacity for nihilism. Down through history, it has thrown fuel upon the fire of tyranny. It has shaded the edges of every genocide, every purge, every damned occurrence of man's inhumanity to man. And in the most recent decade, lived by American youth, it has produced a variant one might think of as man's inhumanity to self. So when the center does not hold, as Yeats said, when there are no more institutions into which you are encouraged to place your faith and unto which you are encouraged to render your own animal desires and self-destructive thoughts as a kind of loving sacrifice towards the betterment of yourself and mankind, when all of that is gone and you are adrift at sea with only some vague yet popular notion that truth and beauty are only what you make of them, of course you're going to want to fall off the edge of the world into a dark and uncaring nothingness where you will not experience joy, but neither will you experience pain and fear. It's a false promise, of course, but it's enticing. I won't belabor the point nor attempt to shoehorn the further obvious observance in too tightly, but it's worth noting that this nihilistic scourge is a product of leftist thinking. Yeah, I said it. It's a product of leftist thinking. You see, leftist is just the most recent name this particular demon goes by. But the truth is, it's as old as the serpent sitting on the branches of the tree, goading a freshly minted humanity into the suicide of its entire race. What's the solution, you ask? Well, it's both simple and not simple. The thing that fights nihilism is hope. It's a recognizance of the importance of change, of becoming. It's an educational, lifelong experience of the bigger picture, and it's a return to newer forms of the great institutions that have always kept the darkness at bay. Our faith, our family, our community, our love of country and one another, a burning nascent star of ambition to live, if for no other purpose, to make the world a better place, one human at a time. It's nihilism. Sarah's over there trying to cough herself to death.
I was holding that one in.
You were.
I was dying a little bit.
I saw that.
But I wanted to.
You wanted to.
I wanted to wait till you were done.
Look at you, made you cry.
I did.
Listen, it was
your speech.
The increased
sorry.
statistic.
I'm just touched.
The increased statistic of suicide.
It really
brought tears.
I mean, I'm making a joke about it, but it is a very important.
Laugh at our nihilism, Sarah.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's an important deal.
It really is.
And I before we started taping, I made the comment. I said, I'm so proud of my daughter. And you said, which one? And well, all of them. But I was specifically thinking about number 3.
Mm-hmm.
and I sent her a text message because I'm at this place in life, and I have been for a while now, actually. If like my kids cross my mind, and something's going on, and they're off somewhere doing their thing, and it crossed my mind, and I'm like, I need to tell them that. I just tell them right then.
Yeah.
I don't care what I'm doing, what I'm in the middle of. It's like I just want to tell them right then that I'm proud of them, I love them, I miss them. Do you need anything? Is there anything we need to talk about? I've done that for a long time now because you never know. You just never know what they're going through or what could happen, or I may not be here tomorrow to send that text message or to make that call. So you read stuff like that, or you hear somebody like me say these things, and as we were putting that together, a little piece, I'm sitting there going, God, this is sad. It really is sad. So when you look at the Chelsea Handlers of the world, the Dylan Mulvaneys of the world, and then your kids, all of us collectively, we see just this deep morass that we've fallen into emotionally and psychologically and mentally. We see it with the gun violence that's out there and the mass shootings, and Joe Biden wants to get on the TV and say, see these guns. No, it's not these guns. It's mental illness. And we're going through things, and we all have an element of mental illness about us, all of us at this stage. They've made sure of that.
Yeah.
So, I just look at all of it, and I'm like, I was talking about my daughter, to bring that back to a point. She's so good about raising money and raising awareness consistently for suicide prevention and all of these things for people to get help. And so at 19 years of age, I just look at her and I go, she's doing such a dadgum good job at just caring, just caring about human beings, And so I pray.
I wonder where she got that from.
Well, I don't know. People think I'm mean. I would
say you were the most caring, generous person I've ever known.
Well, I pay you to say these things, Sarah. So much. I pay you so much to be here and sit on this couch.
Literally pays me $0
to come with your free time to sit here and tell me these nice things. So
is the check in the mail or what?
Nah, it's probably the post office. But I just say you start reaching out to your own kids, and it's happening, folks, and I promise you, the government just don't care.
Yeah.
All right, you got to start taking care of your liver now more than ever. You know why? Because the latest data from the American Heart Association indicates that adults with a fatty liver were 3.5 times more likely to have heart failure than those without. That's scary. The American Liver Foundation says that 100 million Americans have a fatty liver, which means many people are at risk. We throw everything at our livers: cholesterol, alcohol, toxins, even Tylenol in your cholesterol medicine, cigarettes. How many of you out there? That's why so many of us have a sluggish, fatty liver that makes us gain weight and lose energy. So for decades now, your liver has helped you to perform over 500 key functions every day. It's time you help your liver. And I've got a solution for you. Liver Health Formula. I take it every day. It's an all-natural supplement which contains 12 clinically proven botanicals that help recharge and protect your liver. It's manufactured here in the U.S. It's approved by American doctors. And you can try the Liver Health Formula and receive 5 free gifts when you order today. You're going to get a free bottle of nano-powered omega-3 to help you keep your heart healthy. You're going to get 4 free ebooks to support every aspect of your health. You can try Liver Health Formula by going to getliverhelp.com/Chad and claim your 5 free bonus gifts. That's getliverhelp.com/Chad. We'll be right back. Did you see the Michael Strahan interview with Damar Hamlin?
I did.
Yeah, it was telling, not in what was said, but in what was not said.
Yes.
What was purposefully left out. For those of you who missed it, of course, Damar Hamlin plays for the Buffalo Bills. He had the cardiac episode, had a heart attack, and for all intents and purposes, died on the football field. They brought him back, and the stuff that went on after that. Of course, everybody started immediately saying, what's going on with this world-class elite athlete? Why is he having a cardiac episode? Everybody said, oh, well, he just got hit real hard in that one spot like baseball players or hockey players do. Yeah, well, he answers the question himself. Play it.
From the ICU, the question on so many minds, what caused his heart to stop beating?
You're 24, peak physical condition, can run circles around me right now. How did doctor describe what happened to you?
That's something I want to stay away from.
That's something I want to stay away from.
What a pause.
You know,
What a pause.
Well, here's the thing that gets me on that is, did he think that question was not going to come up? Like, he seemed very ill prepared for that.
You're literally in that chair doing that interview because people want to know what happened to you. Because before that, no one knew your name in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
You're not Tom Brady, bro.
Right.
You're a cornerback or a free safety or whatever the hell he plays. I don't even really know.
Still don't know. And you still have to pause for that long just to say, I don't really want to get into that.
Yeah.
I mean, that is fascinating.
Now, as a wordsmith myself, I could have manufactured some bullshit to say on ABC to Michael Strahan and said, well, my doctor said, this rare thing happened that is really in many ways mysterious and unexplainable, and the jury's still out but they're investigating it, and we hope to get to the bottom of it. Like, I could have said something like that.
Well, even if you wanted to say, like, you know what, I don't really want to get into my personal medical.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I'm not going to bring up HIPAA, but
like,
I mean, I kind of have some personal things. There were some personal things that were there I don't really want to talk about.
But you would say that right away.
Yeah.
You wouldn't wait like, wait, what am I supposed to?
Or
maybe I should have prepared.
Why not
for
just
this.
lie?
Well, you could do that.
Couldn't he just said whatever he wanted?
You could do that, but again, I go back to my definition of a conspiracy theory. It's when you leave the blanks.
Right.
We fill them.
Right.
So here's one from a professional poker player, Aaron Duzak, or however you say his last name. Here's his hot mic moment, which I don't know, maybe could have had something to do even with Damar's situation. We don't know. Play it.
I wish I would have never got the vaccine.
What's that?
I wish I never would have got the vaccine.
I never did.
I've been having chest pain ever since I had that thing.
Really?
Yeah.
You're still having it?
Yeah, every time to time. And they're saying that you get hardens the arteries. And so I need to go get it checked out. But ever since, dude, it's just...
That's horrible.
It's been weird.
I held out until like a month ago, not even a month ago.
Oh, is that right? Why did you decide to get it then also?
I wanted to come play the World Series.
Oh, they didn't have that guideline this right now.
Pardon me?
They didn't have that.
As a foreigner, you can't get into the U.S.
Brian Kim also sent to the rail earlier.
Yeah. So they don't know they're being recorded. It's a hot mic moment. And he's like, I wish I'd have never got that vaccine. It's kind of hardens your arteries. I've had chest pains ever since I got that thing. And then the other dude says, well, I went and held out until it was time for me to come play the World Series of Poker. And I'm a Canadian.
So I had to get it.
So I had to get it, which is a damn stupid reason to get a medical procedure.
Really stupid reason.
I hope he won, honestly.
Well, let me tell you, in the game of life,
yeah,
who knows?
He's going to have to pay for some good health insurance, though.
Yeah, we wait for the flop. You know what I'm saying?
Can I just say, too, it was like the most man thing ever that this guy literally was like, I've been having chest pains ever since, and he still hasn't gone to the doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. I wish I'd have never got the vaccine, man.
I've been having chest pains ever since.
Yeah.
How long has it been? And this guy still has not gone to the doctor.
Yeah. And let me unpack my joke from a second ago when I said you're going to have to wait for the flop. The fact that when you're playing Texas Hold'em and you wait for the flop, and the fact that people are falling out, flopping, I'm telling jokes with rookies around here.
Oh, I got it.
Just wasn't funny.
No.
Just wasn't funny, Sarah.
Well,
go back to coughing.
You know what? I might actually.
Chad, you think he might have been using that as a tactic to get inside the heads of everyone around him?
Well, I don't know. If I was going to do that, I'd have been talking about my herpes.
Yeah, seems like a weird thing to bring up if it wasn't genuine.
I just always suspect poker players are trying to win because they're degenerates.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong about that. But anyway,
I came up with
unvaccinated sperm here, folks. I'm just telling you.
I came up with a Valentine's Day poem earlier this week for the Steve Day Show. Do you want to hear it?
I can't wait.
Roses are red, so is your heart. If you took the jab, it may need a jump start.
Okay.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's very romantic.
Threw in a little syllable there, but it's about your heart. I like that.
All right, we can't all be perfect wordsmiths, Chad Prather.
Jumpstart my heart. That's a song.
I think it's Achy Breaky Heart is going to be
There is Achy Breaky.
Yeah.
Speaking of 90s country music, I got to tell you guys. So you know that I'm having the show in Tomball Friday night, which you can't come to. Saturday night at Rowdy's, the dance hall down in Spring, Texas. My buddy Charlie Diggers. I got to give him a shout out. One of the best concert promoters in Texas. My buddy Charlie Diggs. His birthday was yesterday. Valentine's, baby.
Wow.
And he's smart. He's a smart guy. He throws himself a big birthday jam, and he asks all these very popular musicians and people of note to come. And so we're doing 90s birthday jam. So the band
That's
at Rowdy's, we have a couple thousand people in there. The band at Rowdy's, he said, everybody gave 2 songs from the 90s, 2 country songs from the 90s. The band has their set list.
Wow.
And CJ did it 2 songs, and her second song was Shake the Sugar Tree. And I'm like, really? You're going with that? Like, Shake the Sugar Tree?
Really?
And she's like, oh, yeah, I'd kill that thing. This morning she texted me, and she goes, she saw the ad for it on Facebook. She goes, why the hell did I tell you to tell Charlie that I was going to sing Shake the Sugar Tree when that's a song that I have not sung? I was just obsessed with it when I was in 4th grade. And I was like, sorry, sister, the set list is done.
That's so funny.
But,
what
anyway,
did you pick?
I'm going to do, it's going to be a surprise. You got to come to the show. I'm going to do a little Garth tunage. I'm going to do some Billy Dean. We're going to rock. It's going to be good. But
90s country. It's a good decade.
Yeah, we're going to be there with some guys. Maybe some special surprises there. So anyway, if y'all want to come hang out with us Saturday night at Rowdy's, if you know, you know where Rowdy's is. Big time down there. So
It's going to get rowdy.
Don't break my heart, my achy breaky heart.
I think of that every time he has that song with Lil Nas X or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, God, this is weird that this is the same guy that did Achy Breaky Heart.
Yeah, he did it with the guy that dances with Satan.
Yeah.
He did a lot of sexual
That's weird.
stuff.
That's really weird.
All right, hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, so on yesterday's episode, we had David Tice. He is the guy behind a new film called Grid Down, Power Up, starring Dennis Quaid. And while he was here, I said, could you stay and let's record an overtime segment? And he did. So we spent a little over 20 minutes talking about this electrical grid situation in America. I have been so impacted by that 20-minute conversation that I promise you it is going to be a major topic for me going forward. I am going to be actively involved in this because this is something that's coming. We're in trouble. We are in trouble. So I want you to listen in on that conversation by watching Overtime, which is going to come out on Friday under the Chad Prather Show banner if you're a Blaze TV subscriber. If not, subscribe. BlazeTV.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad. Don't miss this. I wish we could have talked for an hour. There's so much there, but I didn't want to give away everything because, again, you'll be able to find out more information that we're going to give you and direct you through the website and things like that. And by the way, if you're anywhere downstream of Ohio, bottled water, people, bottled water. Trust me on that, okay? This is bad. We'll see you tomorrow and get off the rails on Thursday. We love you. God bless you. Bye.